Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Enlighten Up with Div and Deb. And we were just discussing body, the body. We all have one. And Deb's had some shifts recently with the way that she relates with the body.
Yeah. We have been in our book club previous month, reading The Untethered Soul. And the very first part of that asks the question, who am I? And many people will go, my name. And it's like, seriously, that is who you are, this sequence of sound? What if your parents had picked some other sequence of sound and you were Mary Sue and not Divya? Would you be that person still? Yes. And then some people go, well, I'm the person who went to this school and had that event and then went to there and got married then. And you go, oh, really? Are you the sequence of events that happened to you? Well, what if your parents moved to that suburb and enrolled you in that school? Would you still have been the same person going to school, even though it was a different school? And so you're not the sequence of things that have happened to you. And so some people go, well, I am a 57-year-old white woman who is this height and this size. And the author, by the way, his name is Michael Singer. And then he says, well, your body has changed over time. When you were 10 years old and you looked in the mirror, you didn't see this body. You saw the body of a 10-year-old. Were you the same person inside, looking at that 10-year-old body that's inside, looking at that 57-year-old body? Well, the answer clearly is yes. And so we are not our body and we are not our face. Yes, of course, it's hard for me not to recognize myself and my body when I look into the mirror and I have an internal image of what that body looks like. And if I look in the mirror and go, oh, that doesn't match. Oh, my hair's all messed up. I better straighten it. Or, oh, I've got mess on my face. That doesn't match my image of who I am, right? And of course, you and I, Div, know that there's this thing called body dysmorphia, where the form, morph means form, dys means kind of messed up, and how we perceive our form is distorted. So some people who are very, very slim will see themselves as fat and continue to diet. There are some people who have not as common, got bigger and still see themselves as slim. Men tend to do that. Have you ever seen that cartoon where the woman's quite nicely shaped and she looks in the mirror and she sees big and fat, but the man's kind of got the beer belly and he looks in and he's all buffed and toned. What's come into my awareness is how people identify you. They make a misassociation with who you are as the being and who you are. They mix up who you are with your body. Your picture's frozen. Are you still with me? So we might just, I don't know what to do right here. So we lost Divya. And I don't know if she will join us. And you're back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't pause the recording. I kept talking. Good. And I was explaining body dysmorphia. And that people will often mistake us and make judgments and evaluation about us based on really the vehicle that our being gets to come in. We are not our vehicle. I am not my car. I bought a new car recently. And although this car's a little more fat than the other one was a little more sporty and sleek, I don't have any distress about the form of my vehicle being different because I have not identified with it.
There's so much liberation in that. I remember the first time that I disidentified with my body was when I first started my yoga practice, and it was the first time I'd heard that concept of you are not this body. And it just, you know how it is when we hear things and it's just like, this is true. Just felt, this is true. I am not this body. This body will change. Anything that will change can't be truly who you are. And of course this body will change. I certainly didn't have all of these once upon a time. It's just
streaks of wisdom.
Yeah, it's all right. It's, you know, nor did I have these. Like, you know, all things change. And
when you were a baby, you didn't have them, no, and you were you still.
Yeah, exactly.
However, I've got a confession.
Okay, out with it.
Having released, you know, there's been this deep internal shift where I've disidentified with the body even more so than in the past. For the first time, it's come to the front of my mind how there had been this kind of white noise of almost constantly hearing people critiquing. Oh, she's aging very well. Oh, she's not aging very well. Or she's putting on a bit weight. Or she's looking quite slim. And I realized that my decision about caring for and nurturing my body, what will I put into my mouth or not put into my mouth, was not really governed by nurturing my body, but by, you know, a quick projection forward. Some stranger walks past me in the street and goes, oh, gee, she's a bit fat. Like I would give people I don't even know, who will never think of me besides that second walking past, power to determine the choice I'm going to make in this moment. And I am not alone in this.
No.
This is for women in Western society. It is a constant thing. How has that come about? Do you think, as you think about it now?
Well, first thing that comes to me is media that is very homogenous with its images and ideals of beauty. And I can remember having grown up not seeing any darker skinned people as icons of beauty. And I remember I vividly remember doing a self-portrait once, and in drawing a self-portrait, would have been primary school, and I drew myself as white with blonde hair and blue eyes because that's what I wanted to be. And I thought that, you know, in art is the way that you can make what you want real. And so that was what I drew, because the idea that someone with brown eyes and black hair and dark skin could be beautiful just didn't occur to me, because there was no images of that. It's not what I grew up with. That's not what Barbie or any of the, you know, these standards of beauty. And so I that permeates. You know, we know from our work in inner parenting that that so much of what we struggle with in our adult lives are the parts of us that were stunted in maturation in youth. And perfect example.
So media, what we see modeled in the world or seen as venerated, impacts us. I was sharing this with a girlfriend, and she said, what we grow up overhearing has a very powerful effect about what's going to be shunned and what's going to be applauded. And if you think about what women talk about, and they've got their little children around them. Oh, did you see so-and-so? Wow, hasn't she put on weight? That whole energy is like, oh, somebody's got hit by a car. This is catastrophic, you know?
Or even if a caregiver isn't like gossiping or saying those things, but if they themselves have so much consciousness about their physical form, what's modeled matters most. Like that,
and the energy around it. You know, are the women modeling? I appreciate the function. Wow, how miraculous my body is! I must say, even though this had still been there for me, I had been working to consciously live different, and so. You know, my daughter, right up to being a teen, we are comfortable to share the bathroom and share nudity. Wasn't always easy, but I, you know, certainly made an effort externally to, you know, if I wanted to kind of feel ashamed of something on my body and hide it, I would deliberately do the opposite. And I would always show off little love handles and things like that, and encourage my daughter to appreciate body and face and features and all of that kind of thing. And she's grown up quite solid in her concept of herself. And yeah, so what is modeled is really powerful. I'm just reflecting on that and go, thank goodness I did do that. But yes, what to do about it? Well, I'm being honest here. This is a challenge for me at this phase of my life. Because even though a certain type, a very narrow type of body shape is approved, too skinny is not okay, too fat's not okay, and it's very overtly not okay. There's lots of conversation and consciousness around it. That's one thing, but I find that our society has even a greater obsession about youth. We are so overtly anti-aging. I have a beautiful friend who's 83 years old, and she's just so beautiful. And she just wears it so well. Doesn't do anti-aging stuff. She's just turns up and be's her. And we've had a couple of conversations about there aren't any words that you can say, like a bit overweight. You can say voluptuous, full formed. What are the nice words you can say about maturity? And older, you can't say old, you can't say mature, you can't say matriarchal, or like there isn't a single positive word about aging or being older. So I'm committed to rocking it. And and I kind of watch this space because I actually don't know how to do it. I feel all wobbly about it, but I do really want to learn how to love my vehicle in its aging form. And if you can think of any words, adorable words for older, aging, whatever, I would love you to share with them, because I don't think that we've got, like, it's completely devoid in our language.
Well, the only ones I can think of relate to kids. Like, I think nan's a really cute word. Like, oh, what a cute nana, or like, it's like, but that person's a grandmother. That idea. So, nan and nana, they have that kind of, oh, isn't she such a cute little nan? Like, oh.
But I don't know that cute and little are words that necessarily I want to associate with. In my energy, I feel quite large and bold. So
yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. This is about body. I am not. So the one thing that I can do for now is to keep reminding myself I am not my body, and reminding myself how this is truth. I truly do feel blessed for the miraculous functions of my vehicle. It's pretty high tech, as is yours and everyone else, when we think about what we're able to do. And I want to be regularly blessing that, and having appreciation.
That seems like a good place to wrap up. Let us remember we are not our vehicles, and let us appreciate them regardless, because the perspective we take, we could critique it or we could appreciate it. And, have a feel which one feels better for you. That I know the answer. So thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.
Bye. Have a great week.